Good morning, my Stampin' friends. Good morning. Welcome to my craft room. My name is Daryl Walter of Pickled Peppers Creative Cafe at pickledpepperscreative.com. Today is Saturday, March 1st, and I am here in my craft room to make something cute with you. So it is Saturday morning. It is our coffee and create morning. So hopefully you have brought along your favorite cup of beverage and you're ready to get down to business. Come on in. Welcome to my craft room. All right. So we're going to chat a little bit just for a second here. I am going to pull you guys up on my other device. Last week, I couldn't see any of the comments, so I couldn't tell if anyone was here or not. So that being said, I'm going to look on my other device while we're creating to see if I can tell if you're here. And if you're here, give a thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. Wave at me. And as always, please chat with me in the comments below. I love chatting with you while we're creating. And if for any reason, which there are a number of them, it could happen, I don't see your comments or questions, I will go back after the live portion and respond to them. So, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Chat with me. Happy Saturday. Hey, happy March 1st. It is March 1st, 2025. It sounds crazy to say that, but yes, March, we're on our way to spring and big things, lots of creating. That's what I plan in my life. So come on in. We are going to get started pretty quickly today. We'll talk about the supplies that we're going to be using, and then we'll get down to some creating. And then hopefully you can go away and have a very fruitful and creative weekend. Oh, good. Thank you, Julie. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for that. Happy Saturday. Thanks for hanging out in my craft room with me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I know I can be seen. Last week I wasn't sure. I didn't get any comments or anything, but we rolled with it. But I learned a little bit from that. So thank you so much for that. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to be using today. Actually, before we do that, let me just ask you, did you have a good celebration? Did you get to shop and get fun goodies? Yesterday was the last day of celebration. We wrapped that up. And so I am moving on to the mini seasonal catalog. And the reason that I'm bringing that up in celebration is because the stamp set that we're using today was a part of the celebration free choices that you could earn. So maybe you have already ordered this stamp set. Once you see it, I think you can see a little peek of it here. You will know, if you know me, there was no way that I was not having it. So I am super excited to show it to you and share it with you this morning from Celebration. So we're going to be using the Beautiful Butterflies. And again, this stamp set, Stampin' Up made it as one of the celebration choices. Oh, yes. Who is this? So I see a comment. Let me pop over to my other device. I want to make sure that I'm able to see your comments and chat with you. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing, chatting and creating with you. Oh, Julie, yes. So you just got yours in the mail and you got this for free. Yes, so excited. So I am going to show you. I chose this. Especially when I saw that it was going to be a free celebration choice. I chose it first of all because I love it. I love butterflies. And look at, there are details for the wings that you can stamp on. A little butterfly, some splatters. If you know me, you know I'm a fan of that. And then the big, bold, beautiful butterfly. So I'm going to show you a way to use the dies. So there are coordinating dies. It's a hybrid, in fact, a hybrid embossing, cut and emboss folder. So it comes with an embossing folder that you can use just for embossing. Look at that. We're not going to use the entire background today, but I have done a little bit of cut and emboss off camera. I will tell you how to do it though, how to use it. And then dies. So there are lots of dies in here. Let's pull them out. And then when we get started creating, I will tell you a little bit about how the ones that we're using works. And the other ones, if I can think about it as well, and what they're for. And then this comes as a suite of products, and I'll show you that. In fact, let's pop over to the catalog, and I'll show you where to find it. But there are coordinating products, and one of the things that goes along with it is the Bokeh Bokeh Dot. It's just called Beautiful Bokeh. There we go. It's one of those names. it's the Beautiful Bokeh. So there are bokeh dots throughout. You've seen this once. I have used it once. And so they're different. Ooh, look at the fresh freesia. That is nice. Look at that. It almost looks like a little bit of pretty pink in the background too there, huh? Very beautiful. Good morning. Good morning, Nympha. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for hanging out in my craft room. Beth, good morning. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right. So here, you know, you get different colors or different shades, and they're all bokeh on one side. Let's just take it out. I'll fidget with it later. By the way, you know, I got some 6x6 paper holders from Amazon. So I'm going to work on putting my 6x6 designer series paper in there so I don't have to fussy with that plastic overwrap. But Beautiful Bokeh tells you the colors on the back of it. And then the reverse side, we just have like splatter patterns in a similar shade. Oh no, they're actually contrasting. Do you see that? Fun. So that's what the reverse side looks like. And while we're here, let's go ahead and pick out. I saw a confetti looking pattern in here that I wanted to use for today's. So they're bokeh dots, but they're here it is. Maybe it's confetti. What would you call this? It's not ombre. It's kind of ombre, right? But I don't know, confetti-like. So we're going to use that one. And then I'll stick the paper to the bottom here. We have some little goodies that I don't want to lose track of. Actually, let's put this aside. I don't want to lose my little pieces. And then you can find this in the current mini catalog. So this is what the cover of the catalog looks like. And that suite of products, coordinating products that I spoke about, they are here on pages 38 and 39 of the mini catalog. So I have to hold this down. When I hold it up to you, we're getting out of frame. And so here's where you can find the stamp set. It kind of highlights, if you can see the fresh freesia highlight. So it highlights coordinates so that you know what there are dies that go along with. That's what that means. And then you can see the 3D embossing folder. There is also, there's some real confetti. Let's see what we're calling it. Itty Bitty Bokeh Mix. So I'll hold this closer. So these would be fun to make a shaker card out of. You could totally do that. Oh, hey, look. Stampin' Up has done it. Here we go. This is on page 38. Isn't that pretty, pretty, pretty? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, so that's where you can find it. The current mini catalog. This is our January through April catalog. So you can shop from it through April. If you don't have the bundle or the Stampin' Cut and Emboss embossing folder, then you can still get it all the way through April. And if it carries over, it will be after that. Bundles are 10% off in the catalog. And once they carry over, they offer them as separate pieces. So you can save 10% for now until April. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on our project. I'll tell you what else. I haven't chosen an embellishment, but I think I want to use one. And then, of course, the Beautiful Bokeh. We have the piece of designer series paper that I've chosen. Let's move these back so we can see them. I adjusted my camera a little bit this morning, so I was hoping to stay in frame, and I'm so accustomed to going higher that I'm kind of pushing things forward. But I've done all of the cutting and embossing off camera because there's quite a bit, or at least I felt so, and I didn't think you wanted to sit and watch me do that, so I cheated a little bit and done it off camera. Polly, good morning, good morning. Welcome to my craft room. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you all were able to hang out with me. Super excited that you're here this morning, so thank you, thank you. So I have a piece of basic white for the card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, so the standard A2 card. We've scored it at 4 1/4, so I have that. I have some scraps of, this is Balmy Blue, I believe. Let me make sure I'm telling you the truth. Yes, this is Balmy Blue, and then we have Fresh Freesia. And then you'll need some scrap of basic white too. For our card base, we have the thicker. So we have the thick basic white, and then we have our Beautiful Bokeh paper here. So the first thing we're going to do is work on our card base. And the card base is going to require some die cutting. So wait until you see this. It's so, I squealed with delight, let me tell you that. All right, so here are the larger die cuts of the butterfly. So we're going to be using this one. This one will allow you to cut and leave the butterfly shape attached to the card base. Let me show you. So I've already done it offline, but I will show you how to do that. And then we have the two larger butterflies that we're using. One, as you can see, is meant to be a background layer. And then we have the detailed layer. This is the layer that you would use to cut and emboss, and I'll show you that in a moment as well. And let's go ahead and talk about it while we're here. Hey, did we take a close-up look at the stamp set? We didn't talk about the sentiments, did we? There's time to celebrate. In case you need me, I'm here. I love that. Happy birthday. So thankful for you, and hello. I really love that. In case you need me, I'm here. Isn't that cool? That's a cool sentiment. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about how we're going to make the card base. And I'll tell you, when you run this through your die cutting machine, are you able to see, can you see the score? Let's see, I've already scored it. Can you see the score mark there? Kind of difficult on the white, but there is a score mark there. If you're making this card, I recommend that you score it. Even if you fold it and use your bone folder, but you're going to need that score line so that you kind of know where to position the die. So you'll leave your card base open flat. Don't fold it and run it through the die cutter. Ask me how I know that. We only want to cut one side, so we're going to cut the front piece of our card base only to make the outline shape of this butterfly, okay? So if you fold it, you're going to get a cut through both pieces, and we need the back of the card to be intact. All right, so working from my score line, I didn't put the die all the way on the score line. I lined it up just below the score line on the card base. I did it because I wasn't exactly sure how much of it would cut off, and it turns out, that was the best placement for it. So using your, let's bring this a little closer. Are you able to see that? So using your score line or your fold line as a guide, put your die right below, maybe like a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch. I wouldn't go more than that. So you want it almost up to the line, and then run it through your die cutter while it's open. Don't fold it. And then this is the result. Tell me, isn't this cool? This is what you're gonna get. Isn't this awesome? So can you see? I'll fold it over, and that whole little butterfly comes up. Now, we're only going to keep the butterfly. We're not going to keep the outline. So I'm going to bring in some scissors, and then very carefully, you see here, there's a little line. Can you see that little line that the die made? There's a little line there. I'm going to cut up to that line so we can move, or not up to the line, I'm sorry. I'm going to cut up to the first portion of the die cut. Just make a little snip there. You see that? We're going to, oh, let's put this down a little bit. Here we go. So can you see what I did? I snipped it right off, and we're going to do it on this side too. So I'm just going to snip right up to the cut line. And then we'll take this whole background right off. And then this is what we have remaining. Oh, it's freezing. Okay, Nympha. I'm sorry about that. Is anybody else having trouble? Oh, I can see a little bit of glitching. I don't know if it's because I'm behind, but hopefully it straightens out. It looks good to me, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. All right, so this is what we have. I am going to bring in the bone folder because we need to burnish down that little flap left on the top. So we're going to want that to be flat. Going to burnish it right down. Here we go. All right, and there's our card base. So let's put this die away, and we can actually put this away and throw away our trash. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and show you the other die cut pieces. We'll put our card base aside for a moment. Boy, changing the camera has really, it's really messed with my orientation. And it's not that much even, but oh my goodness, let me tell you. All right, so we're going to make a background butterfly. And so I'm going to use, oh, we don't need this. I'm going to use the larger butterfly, and we're going to cut this out with white. So I've already done it ahead of time. Remember how I told you I cut through both layers because I folded my card? Well, we need the background butterfly. So we're just going to go ahead and cut that out. And on this one, I'm going to cut right on the score line. So let's go right up to the score line, and we'll loose this butterfly from its page. We'll let it flutter by, this butterfly. There we go. And then I'm just going to trim it on the top. Just a little freehand trimming. Just go around a little bit and get rid of that extra little bit. And I'm not being super fussy about the shape or anything, because I'm just kind of following the line. I'm just kind of following the line that the die cut made. All right, and then we'll put that aside. And then when it comes to cutting and embossing, let's go ahead and do the cutting and embossing. We're going to need that same die cut. And let's grab the embossing folder. We'll pull it out. So I have done the embossing off camera. However, when you get your embossing folder, the Stampin' Up logo indicates the front part of your embossing folder, okay? The way that you cut and emboss, you're going to put your die right inside of the folder. And you'll notice that if you use the raised side, which is the side on the cover, if you use the raised side, so here it is, open your embossing folder. Here is the raised side of your die. So the side that will do the cutting needs to be facing outwards. And you're just going to line it up with that large butterfly. So we see our large butterfly here. I'm just going to lay it down. You kind of wiggle it around. There we go. Hey, I got balloons. You kind of wiggle it around until it fits into place. And then put your cardstock on top. Close it. And then run it through your die cutting machine. And that's how you cut and emboss. It's easy peasy. And I've done it. And it doesn't harm your embossing folder. Can you see that? Let's put it close. So your embossing folder should be good. All right. And then this is the beautiful end result. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love it. I love it. I want to cut a bunch of these out just because. I don't know, maybe I can take them to work and put them on my desk. All right, and then the last die that I used was the detailed die, the detailed cutting die, and I ran it through the die cutter with white. And so we're going to use this to layer right on top here. All right, so let's see what we have in terms of working parts and pieces. Oh, we did make a couple of other cuts, or I did for us. And there are smaller dies. Can you see? There's a smaller outline for the full open butterfly and for the folded butterfly. There's some tiny little butterfly bodies there, and I just cut a couple of the smaller butterfly details. So this could be the background, and then you have your detailed layer. And we have a couple, I actually cut them in blue and fresh freesia, because I wasn't sure which way I was going to go. So we have those. And then I just wanted to show you, I left this in here for a reason. So I'm gonna go with fresh freesia for the body of the butterfly. This is the larger body, but you can see how intricate, and this is something that you probably will have to do, especially with your detailed dies. On the back, on the reverse side of the die, can you see that there's a little dot? There we go. Or there's two of them. That is for loosing or freeing the die cut that you made, because they do get stuck in there frequently. And I think I shared with you before, one of the ways, when I'm not on camera, I have to tell you, one of the ways that I release my die cut from the dies when they're stuck like that is I drop them like that right on my desktop, and a lot of times it will pop right out. It'll pop right out. But I wanted to show you that. And then sometimes you'll have to use your take your pick tool to free some of the intricate cuts, That happens literally every time I die cut something with a lot of detail. All right, so let's put our blue buddies away because we're going to use the fresh freesia. Hey, aren't these colors really spring? What do you think about it? You guys, I have been stuck on spring. I'm thankful for all of the seasons, but let me tell you, I don't know. It seems like this winter has been very, very long, and I'm okay. I'm okay with it if we move on to spring. I'm super, super okay with it. All right, so let's get started with a little bit of assembly. Before we do that, we need to cut our piece of designer series paper. So I'm going to bring my Stampin' trimmer in, and we're going to cut this down to 5 1/4 by 4. And we'll stick this on the inside. I like the colors here. I like, looks like a little calypso coral. I'm going to try to keep that side. All right, so we'll cut this down to 4. That gives me a larger piece that I can use for something else. And then we'll cut it down to 5 1/4. All right, that was a lot of die cutting talk. Did you guys get that? Did it make sense to you, especially if you're new? If not, I'll tell you that you can catch the replay. In fact, you can catch the replay either here or on YouTube. So either place, if you're on YouTube, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for watching. And give a thumbs up if you love what we're doing. And also hit the subscribe button. And if you're on Facebook, give a love or a thumbs up or love. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to put the piece of designer series paper on the inside of the card. So it's going to be our background, because the white on white background is not very interesting, but we like it. We like it because it has a butterfly on it. And we're going to stick this right down to the inside, kind of leaving as much of an even border as we can around the perimeter. This is very difficult to do upside down here. I'm going to have to turn it towards me. I'm just not a very good upside down crafter. I wish I had those skills. For some reason, I just don't. Okay, so can you see what we have so far? Beautiful, right? I am going to grab another piece of, and I saw this, I can't remember who inspired me. She is also on YouTube, but big shout out to you. Thank you so much for the inspiration. But she brought out a valid point. So with the front of the card being shaped like a butterfly, there's no way to stand it up. Well, there is. Can you see that? But it makes it slope forward a little bit. And so I'm going to follow her advice. And I'm sorry I can't remember the name, but I'm going to take a piece of basic white cardstock. You can use thick or the regular. I think this is regular. And I'm going to cut it to 5 1/2, so it fits along the entire front by about maybe 1 1/4. So let's see if we have 5 1/2. I'm going to cut this right down to 5 1/2 first. And then we'll go ahead and cut the 1 1/4 inch piece off. And we'll use this for the bottom. I'm not exactly sure how we'll attach it right now, but I just remembered that I wanted to take that bit of a tip. And probably like I do a floating card, I'll do the same thing. So we'll put that piece here at the bottom and then just maybe kind of catch it with the end of the butterfly. Actually, let's cut it down a little bit. I used 1/4 inch. We might be able to get away with 1 inch. Let's take it down just a tad. I'll take it down to 1 1/8 first. And if that doesn't work, I'll take it down to 1 inch. This is my normal Creative Mojo. I start on the larger side, and then if I need to chop it down, I'll chop it down, because you can always take something away, but you can't add it very readily. Let's leave it there, because I think we're going to stamp our sentiment down there too. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and add, while we're here, no, we'll need this in place first. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of Seal Plus to the very tips of the butterfly. Can you see? There we go. And I'm going to hold that piece of cardstock. I'm going to line it right up with the bottom. Actually, let me turn it towards me so I can see. I'm going to line it right up with the bottom edge of my card base, and then I'm just going to fold it down. Fold it right down. I'll use my bone folder again to kind of crease the top edge. There we go. Yes. There we go. There we go. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, remember that extra butterfly that I cut out? Well, we're going to need to have a place to put our sentiment on the inside. And so we're going to kind of line it up with the front of the card base. And I'm going to do that just by opening the card front, laying the extra butterfly down. So this is the back side. This is the side where I want to put the adhesive. I'm going to match it right up, and then we'll close the back on it to get it to stick into place. So I'm going to go ahead and add some Seal Plus adhesive to the back of the butterfly, being a little generous with it. All right, and then I'm going to line it right up the best that I can, because we want it to be hidden when the card is closed. Does that make sense? And then I'm just going to fold this right down. Burnish it down with the heat of my hands. And let's flip it over. And hey, not too shabby. So can you see what we have here? And there we'll stamp our sentiment for the inside. All right, so we just need a few finishing touches here. We'll do a little bit of layering. We have to figure out how we want to layer this. We're gonna put this little butterfly. Oh, I need to use the Take Your Pick tool. I see a few extra tabs that I didn't get punched out in my haste. And then also, when I'm looking at this, there are little butterfly antenna here, and there's also antenna on and a head on the card base. So what I'm gonna do is take my snips and I'm gonna pop those little antenna right off. I don't want them on there because we don't need a butterfly with 2 sets of antenna, and we have the head here, so I think that looks like a body. And then let's go ahead and get rid of the extra little tabs that we have. Oh boy, I left several of them on there, didn't I? All right, I think we have them all now. Let's get rid of the little crumbs that we made. I don't want them to stick to anything. All right. So I think we'll grab some liquid adhesive glue, and I'm just going to put it on the body. to glue these two pieces together. I'll put that center piece and I'll align it with the body. I'll just put glue adhesive here, and then we'll glue this down to the front. So let's grab some multi-purpose liquid glue. From my stash bag. Let's move this out of the way. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back of the butterfly and line it up. I'm going to line the body up. So I kind of want the body of the overlay in the center of the mat behind. Oh, good morning, Patty. Happy March to you. March indeed. March is my birthday month. March is St. Patrick's Day. What else happens in March? Do you guys know of any other causes to celebrate in March? Okay, so this is what I've done. Can you see that? And I only added the adhesive on the center of the white piece here. So I think we're done with that for now. Patty, I'm so glad you could come and hang out in my craft room with me. Thank you so much for being here. You guys, you make me happy when you decide to spend your time with me. I am super excited. And, you know, you make me wake up and be crafty every single Saturday morning. So think about it. I get to start every single weekend out, the weekend day. I get to start it out being creative. So do you know what that does for momentum? When I come here and create with you guys inspire me and drive me to want to create for the entire rest of the weekend. All right, so what I have to decide is whether or not we want to add something. I don't know. I feel that we're a little empty here, and maybe we'll add embellishments. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, so we need that liquid glue back, don't we? We have to put our little Fresh Freesia body on there. I've forgotten about that. And so I'm going to do a little bit of a dry run here as well, because remember there are, that makes a little more sense. At least the white shadow maybe looks like exactly that, a shadow. No, I don't think so. I really like the antenna on our Fresh Freesia butterfly, but I think we're going to have to we're going to have to get rid of them too. I don't know. I'm going to have to think a little bit more about how to use this die, because all of the layers have antenna and they don't all match up. So it's probably just something I don't know about yet. And that's okay. That's okay, because that makes this real, right? This is what happens in real time when I'm creating. It's a part of my process, how my brain works. I am sure it is for you too. It lets you know it's okay not to have all of the answers. It's okay. All right, so I'm gonna line this up. Oh, let's put the head where the head is. There's a definite head on the die cut body, or a definite direction for it. So here's what we ended up with. Cool, 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 right? Oh, the sticky stash bag. Yes. Thank you, Julie. Julie mentions my sticky stash bag. Did you see that? Excuse me. I have these sticky stash bags that I carry, and it comes with adhesive in it. So it will come with like Stampin' Dimensionals, the glue dots. It will come with a Seal Plus. So my favorite adhesives, excuse me, I have a dry tickle. I'm so sorry, you guys. My favorite adhesives come, and then you get the reusable bag. It's a zipper bag, has a logo that I put on it, a zipper bag. And can you see how much is in there? Let me show you. I have everything in there. So thank you for that shout out, Julie. All right, so let's grab some dimensionals, because there is zero chance that I'm going to have a completely flat project if I can help it. If I can help it ever. I was wondering, I kept those little antennae. I wondered if they would go on in the center here, but they're so skinny, I don't think there's anything to glue it down to. We would be here forever, you guys, if we did that. All right, and so I'm gonna add dimensionals right to the center, just like I did the other layers. So I'm not gonna add adhesive to the entire back. That way our butterfly is free. We did all that cutting to free it from its cage. We have to let it fly, 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 fly. All right, and let's decide where we want this. I guess we're gonna center it. There we go. Oh, yes. The detail on that background piece is so lovely. Isn't that beautiful? Beauty, beauty, beautiful. All right, so we have a couple of loose butterflies that we need to adhere. Well, maybe or maybe not. Maybe that will take, maybe if we put a couple of fluttering ones, it will take care of one side of our white base, so it doesn't look as empty in space. But let's go ahead and grab a sentiment, and once we put the sentiment down, we can see what finishing touches that we're going to need. But this isn't this unique? This is so unique. I love it. I love it. I think I'll play with this for the rest of the weekend. I think I'll make that my mission, or at least part of it. All right, so in terms of sentiments, we have, I really like this, in case you need me, I'm here. I don't think that's gonna fit. So let's bring this right out. Our stamps, by the way, are photopolymer. If you're not familiar, photopolymer means that your stamps are clear and they fit on, you adhere them to a clear block, and then you can see what you're stamping. We also have cling stamps that are red rubber, and those fit on the block too. Oh no, you guys, this might fit in that corner. In case you need me, I'm here. Yes, let's go with it. Is it going to go over the butterfly? Here, let's see. That's the thing. I don't want to go over the butterfly wing. Oh yeah, it'll go over the butterfly wing. We could use just a simple happy birthday. Let's use happy birthday. That's what we'll do. Let's make a decision here. We'll go ahead and peel this off. I could use a smaller block, but that's okay. We have this one out. We'll roll with it. It looks like it's about time that my clear blocks get a bath anyways. So I'm putting this at the bottom, and the reason that I'm doing that is because this block is quite a bit larger than my stamp, and sometimes, let's put it at the top, actually, it's in the wrong place. Sometimes when your block is a lot larger than the stamp you're using, you have to be careful of rocking the stamp, because excess ink will be on your block, and if you rock it, you'll get ink where you don't want it to be. All right, so we have the butterfly that is really large, I'm wondering if we should use, I don't want to use black. I have the black Memento. Let's just use the Fresh Freesia. That's what I brought out. Fresh Freesia and black Memento. I wasn't sure. We could use the black. Maybe the black will bring, no, let's go with the Fresh Freesia. So we're going to stamp our sentiment down, and I'm putting it right down in the corner here, and keep your fingers crossed for me that we don't get any extra ink marks and that I get it straight, because I do have it kind of crooked here. It's kind of crooked. I'm going to bring it towards me a little bit so I can hover over the block, and down we go. I'm going to be careful to press but not rock it. Oh, look it. I nailed it, you guys. Ta-da! All right, so let's go ahead and decide how we're going to finish our lovely butterfly. I think we're going to need a couple of dimensionals for these little guys. And then we need to decide on an embellishment. And I'm going to choose the embellishment based on colors that will coordinate with the designer series paper. And Stampin' Up! Is going to tell us that. So I'm going to bring in the pack of designer series paper because we'll need the back. All right, so I am going to put these butterflies down. I'm going to put them down with Stampin' Dimensionals, and I do want to use both of them, I think. And I'm just going to add the dimensional to the reverse side of the body. So I'm going to be using the mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Did you guys know that there is a such thing as the mini? Oh gosh. Oh, I just let the cat out of the bag. Oh, yeah, there are many Stampin' Dimensionals that are smaller than the full-size Stampin' Dimensionals. And also, there are black. They come in black too, the regular size Dimensionals. They come in black. So know that we do have 3 different Stampin' Dimensionals. Hey, what did I do with my Take Your Pick tool? Oh my goodness, let's say it isn't so. It's not in my busy box. Oh well. I'll grab them with my fingers. And these are really tiny. I feel I need that Take Your Pick tool. It has to be near me. All right, and I'm going to put that small dimensional right on the body in the center. You see that? And so I'm going to tuck it a little bit under our larger butterfly. Let's put it up just a little bit. And then we'll make the other one flutter in the opposite direction. We may have to overlap that one a little bit too, which is okay. I'm okay with that. Right here in the center of the body. If you can hang on to that. Oh my gosh, I am not good without my Take Your Pick tool. And it's not in my eyesight. It might have rolled under my laptop. But even getting the backing off, that's a challenge. Oh my gosh, I keep saying that I need to get a second Take Your Pick tool. I really do rely on it a lot. All right. Okay, so here's what we have so far. Beautiful, right? Let's go ahead and find an embellishment that will match, and we're going to rely on Stampin' Up! To tell us what matches. So if you didn't know, like I showed you in the beginning, all of the coordinating colors are on the back of your packaging for your designer series paper. And so we can use Balmy Blue, Berry Burst. We can't use Berry Burst. That wouldn't go. We can't use the Calypso Coral because that wouldn't go either. I feel like we have a lot of Fresh Freesia and Balmy Blue going on here. but Daffodil Delight and Fresh Freesia. So Balmy Blue, Daffodil Delight, Fresh Freesia. Okay, now we're going to take to my very expansive box of embellishments. You see that? Don't tell my secret. Another cat's out of the bag. Oh my goodness. I think something with color would look good. I don't think I have those, the ones that, the confetti. And then if I don't find anything that I think looks good in that regard, my fallback is always the rhinestone basic jewels, because why? They go with anything. Almost anything. Or the pearls. We could use the pearls too. I'm hoping to find, oh, these are my favorite, you guys. I can't get away with those. So we may have to fall back on the basic rhinestone jewels. Oh, tucked away in here, we do have the itty bitty bokeh. Look at that. Let's go with it. I thought for some reason I didn't get it, but I did. So we're gonna need our mini glue dots, and let's see if I can find some in my stash here on my desktop. And let's see what they have. Maybe I should bring a piece of paper. Good morning, Marie. Aren't the butterflies beautiful? Good morning, good morning. Thanks for hanging out in my craft room with me. Thank you, thank you. I hope you guys are having a good start to your weekend. And hopefully you had a really good week. I don't know, last week felt like a holiday week. It was a long week. I live in Lansing, Michigan, so here in my neck of the woods, we had one surprising day in the middle of a ton of days that were cold, and then all of a sudden we got a warm day where it was like 50 degrees or something, and then we got cold again. All right, you guys, so I'm kind of looking for my take your pick tool. I have no idea what I did with it, but I think if we're going to be using these itty bitty dots, we're gonna need it. And the cap is here, and it is literally nowhere. All right, so we'll figure out how we have to do this. Let's go ahead and see what we have in. Oh, so they're like little sequins. I'll just sprinkle some down and set this aside. And I have to decide how I'm going to be able to pick these up. I guess I'll have to use my scissors to pick them up. And I'm going to show you up close, but there are these little ones that look like they're the largest of the sequins. And it looks like a pinwheel, I think. I like them though, and so I think we'll use those, and we will see how on earth I'm gonna get these to stick down, because they're very light. So maybe I can add the glue dot right to the tip of my scissors. Let's have some ingenuity. Let's see what we can do in a tight space, right? All right, so they're kind of iridescent. There are definitely some with colors and some that are flat, but can you see that? Oh, let's get some focus. There we go. Can you see how they look like mini pinwheels? So let's go ahead and we'll stick those down. We have to decide where we're going to put them. So definitely here, because we need a little balance, which means, which means maybe in this area. Oh, you know what I'll do? You know how butterflies have, they have dots on them? Like some of them, like a monarch, which is my favorite butterfly. a monarch butterfly. So I kind of rolled that glue dot up. Can you see that? I kind of rolled it up into a little ball. And then, let's see if I can pick this up. Oh, they kind of look the same on both sides. So I'm just going to stick that right down. I'll grab it with the other side. So butterflies sometimes, like the monarch, they'll have the little circles on them. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that I'm going to love that. If you don't have an extra take your pick tool in your stash, learn from this lesson. Don't be like me. The only other thing I can think is that it rolled off the table onto the floor, or that I knocked it off, which happens to me quite a bit. But that's okay. We're learning how to make do, right? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm going to put 3 in a row here because I think that looks like a butterfly. In my mind's eye, that's what I'm seeing. So I'm going with it. I'm going with it. You guys tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about it. If you're watching me on YouTube, leave a comment below. Let me know, and let me know how you like the stamp bundle with the coordinating products. I really love the Stampin' Cut and Emboss folder. The detail on that butterfly is amazing. I can't even begin to tell you. And then, of course, the filigree, all the detail parts that make butterflies frilly in real life. That is what I'm loving most about this. So the embossing folder also is beautiful, and it will do a full page of embossed butterflies with the largest of the butterflies as the accent. And that is really cool. I love that. I love it. Yeah, so let me know if you like this card and if you like these products, the products that I'm using. So it's the Beautiful Butterfly, and the designer series paper is the Beautiful Bokeh. There's lots of bokeh there. Okay, here's one. We need one more because we have to balance our butterfly. And I could go around the entire outside, but I'm not going to keep you guys here forever and a day doing that. We've already made this a birthday card. I leave the inside of my cards blank most often, because it gives me it affords me the liberty to add a sentiment at the time that I use the card. Or if I'm selling the card, it affords that same prospect for the purchaser. All right, let's see how we did. Oh, Ellen, you use tweezers to pick up your tiny embellishments. You know, I never ever use tweezers. I don't know why. And I have some. I have the precision tweezers. It never ever dawns on me to use them. Thank you for that tip. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Okay, so here we are. Here's our finished card. Here's the inside. Let's see if I can give, isn't it beautiful? I don't know. Any butterfly is beautiful. Any butterfly is beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, Cindy Lee B. That's who I got my inspiration from, Cindy. So thank you, Cindy. This is lovely. There's a lot of detail here, right? So this is going to be a birthday card that you'll probably want to give to someone that will hang on to it for a little while. Sometimes I like to scrapbook with cards that I can't part with, that have sentimental value. Or I'll cut them in half and stick them in a little, like you can get the little photo cases, like they're plastic and you just slide the photos in. I like to get those and, you know, just cut them down to my favorite parts and keep them. But this is our finished project. All right, so let's put our little dots away. You guys, this feels like I opened a treasure chest of jewels. Can you see the sparkly in the color? I don't know if it comes through. These are pretty darn cool. And Stampin' Up! Is pretty smart because they told us which colors would go, and then they included them. They included them in the Itty Bitty Bokeh Mix. Itty Bitty Bokeh Mix, that's what that's called. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about what we used today. Of course, the Itty Bitty Bokeh Mix, the ever so elusive Take Your Pick tool. I used that. It is very necessary. I love that tool. And yeah, I misplaced it. Okay. And then we also used the Beautiful Bokeh 6x6 Designer Series paper. I'll kind of fan it out for you again. So all of the colors that are on the reverse side that it tells you coordinates, those are the colors within the Designer Series papers as well. We have some different patterns on the back. So it looks like splatter. Looks like water, maybe water splatter or wet water. Does that wetness or water? Wet water. Water's always wet. Is there dry water? There's dry shampoo. Hey. And so yeah, that's what is on the reverse side. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful. So that is our Designer Series paper. Oh, what colors? Yes, you're right. Julie, you are batting 1,000 today. You are right. If you're not sure which colors, you use the Stampin' Up! Color wheel. Yes, there is a color wheel, and actually it's in one of the catalogs, a digital copy, and then there is a physical copy that you can use as well to match up colors. Thank you for that. You're on fire, Jewel. Okay, and then we used the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set, and there's nothing more to say. The title of it says it all. Beautiful Butterflies. These are beautiful. I discovered that there's a sentiment I really love. In case you need me, I'm here. I just think it's important. We need each other. We need each other for all sorts of reasons. We need each other during difficult times to lean on, have cathartic conversations with. We need each other for companionship and company. We need each other. And so that is really resonating with me today. It's just that we as people need each other. We need our crafty sisters. So I really like that. I like that sentiment. All right. And then we have the coordinating Stampin' Cut and Emboss folder. It is also called the Beautiful Butterflies Hybrid. So that hybrid means that it cuts and embosses. And then the coordinating dies, so you'll use the dies to cut with, and then you'll also use this larger die to emboss with. Okay, I think I covered everything that we used today. So thank you guys so very much for being here today. I never take you for granted. Time is the most precious thing we have, along with our bodies, right? And when you decide to spend yours with me, I never ever take it for granted. I'm always thankful. So thank you so much for being here with me. Hey, I will be back here with you next week, same place, same time, to share something fun with you. I hope that you are inspired to create. So go away. Have a beautifully creative weekend, and I wish nothing but fullness and beauty to you all weekend long. All right, my friends, thank you for being here. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.